Hey, this is Derek Whatley. I'm an engineer working on OpenShift migrations at Red Hat. In this video, we'll take a look at new log aggregation and collation functionality that will be included in the Migration Toolkit for Containers 1.4 release. There are several interacting MTC components involved in a container migration. MIG controller is the orchestrator, while Valero carries out kube resource backups and restores. We added log aggregation and collation to simplify the debugging experience and allow for better understanding of the interaction between the migration controller pod plus the Valero and Restic pods. So when you're creating a migration controller from the web UI and you go to the YAML view, you'll now see that there's an option that's set by default migration log reader true. And this option will create the new migration log reader pod. You can see here that I already have it deployed along with my migration controller, and this should be deployed on both of your clusters. The migration log reader has two containers running inside of it, the color and the plain. So color is a colorized log output, and plain is plain text in case you're trying to look at it with the grepping tool of some sort. So looking at the colorized log output, we can see that the Valero pod has been outputting various log messages. We're going to jump over now to the Migration Toolkit for Containers web UI, and we'll see that we have this migration plan set up that is going to migrate 34 cube resources and 2 PVCs. Let's go ahead and click the Migrate button and see how the migration logs show up in this new log collation system. So you can see I'm tailing this log already, and we can see that the migration controller container is outputting a bunch of orchestration related log messages right now as it's going through its prepare step. It's waiting on the migration registries to come up right now. We'll see that at various points in the migration, control is sort of passed off between Valero being the primary thing taking action versus the MTC migration controller container. So right now we have Valero backup running. You can see those logs showing up down below in blue. And then we jump back to CAM doing orchestration again. The cool thing about this is that all of these logs are ordered correctly in time, so you can really understand the interaction between different migration pods. It's important to note that not all of the logs for both clusters are included here. You should actually be tailing the logs on the source and the target cluster separately, so you make sure you don't miss any of the log output. So for instance, the source cluster is running its own Valero instance, and it will have its own log output.